Well, what's up, guys? So, with the new Sculk sensors being released, we have a slight issue that we have to figure out, and that is the most efficient placement if you're going to cover as large area as you can. Because if you want to build, say, some sort of GPS triangulation device where you can track movement along an area, maybe around your base, you're going to want to have Sculk sensors that can detect that movement and relay it back and tell you where it's coming from. And so, obviously, if Sculk sensors are going to be a bit rare to find, you're going to want to use the least amount of Sculk sensors in the build possible. And so we have to figure out what the best possible placement is. So if you have it on the ground here, obviously this is the reach of a Sculk sensor normally, but because you need to place it underground to avoid people being able to see it, you're going to have a little bit less room, which is going to be essentially this here is going to be your range. And so the most simple method you can come up with would be something along the lines of this, where you have the Sculk sensors placed the minimum amount apart from each other along the perimeters, but in doing this you leave this entire area in the middle open, and so you'd have to place an extra Sculk sensor here, which would overlap quite a bit. And this here has about a 72% efficiency, or 72% like yeah, we'll just call it 72% efficiency. And then over here is another design that I came up with. This is probably the simplest design, while being at the most efficient as well, being at about 92% efficient. And I just mean by only 8% of the blocks are overlapping. So if you had them all separate, you know, if these were like squares next to each other, that'd be 100% efficiency because you wouldn't have any overlapping. But yeah, so this is this. It's possible to come up with a better design, possibly. And I'll just quickly go over a quick way to figure out different designs for not just this, but in case you have multiple blocks that you need to be under, or maybe you want to figure out the most optimal way to have Sculk sensors on the ground. Well, you're going to have to come up with your own design, because this is the only one I see a use for myself. And so to do that, we're going to have to open up, let's go here, we'll open up a paint program. And so I have it set to individual pixels that you can draw. So one pixel would be one Minecraft block. If we go here, you can see we draw one at a time. And so you want to draw the area that your Sculk sensor can detect with your Sculk sensor in the middle. And then you're going to want to just take this. You want to copy that. And you're going to want to open up a new document with 128 by 128 or so. And all you're going to want to do is paste these in, and then you can line them up however you want and try and figure out, oh, what's an optimal design? Maybe I can do, this is, you know, whatever design you can come up with, you put them together and see what you end up with. And doing this, you can come up with a design and try and figure out, okay, well, how efficient is this? Well, we can say one on their own is 185 pixels. And so if we then were to say, okay, well, we have 5 areas in total, might want to do a bit more to get the more accurate calculation, but you can then come in here and say, how many pixels in total is this? Well, 880 plus the 5 that are missing here, well, that's 885. And our total, if we put into a calculator, we know a single one is 185. 185 times 5 means that our maximum possible value is 925 if these weren't overlapping at all. And then we divide that by, we divide 880, which is the amount we actually have, by our maximum number, and we get some number like 90%ish, maybe a bit less, for this design. And essentially that's how you can figure out your efficiency. So if we go back to Minecraft now, we can see that besides the fact that it's raining, we have this arrangement here is about 92% efficiency, like I said. And so the design for this is along this axis here. You're going to have 14 block gap before placing another one. And then when you're going to the side, you're going to want to go 11 over and then 5 up or down, depending on where you are. So you go, like I have 5 up, and then you would go 11 over, 5 down. And from any of these placements, you can go up by 16 and off to the side again, whatever you want to do. and you just continue this pattern as much as you need to get the most area for the Sculk sensors you're using. And yeah, that's essentially it. Hopefully somebody else can come up with a GPS design, or triangulation or whatnot, because it seems like too much extra work for me. But yeah, until next time, I guess. Although you may never be in the top 1% for wealth, you can be in the top 1% of viewers by clicking that subscribe button and also hitting the bell notification, the like button, and comment all before the video ends.